What's up, ACW fans? I'm the Law Dog Brent Lawson, and this is an ACW retrospect. And I'm here with Chris Slaughter. He was a member of ACW security, and he was in charge of construction. When I say that, I mean he's the one that put up the walkway and set everything up and made sure everything was safe for the wrestlers and the team members in the back, or who had anything to do with the promotion. So Chris Slaughter, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. All right. First question's got to be, how did you hear about ACW?
I heard it from Kid Lightning. He was starting up his own company and everything, and I'd done been running security for Robert Stanley for many years, and he offered me the job and everything, and plus he knew I already had past experience in setting up the entranceway and wrestling ring, make sure everything was safe for the wrestlers before they got involved in it.
All right, so what's your first memory of ACW? When you started working there, what's the first thing you remember?
First thing I remember was the action and stuff like that. It was more action to it than I was used to. It was more stipulation matches and stuff like that.
You got pulled into it a couple times.
Yes, I did, and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
You took a couple blows.
Oh yeah, I enjoy every bit of it though.
Yeah.
Where I was going to try to wrestle, I had a past in it, but it didn't. My body wouldn't handle it too much like the other wrestlers, and I couldn't be safe. So I figured I'd just be a part of it where I could be.
There you go. All right. What are your thoughts on ACW?
I love ACW. It was actually one of the best shows I've seen because of all the stipulation matches. Because it was always something different. It wasn't the same routine, nothing like that. It was always a different match, and it was always like an edge seater, a seat on the edge of your seat.
What was your favorite part of the promotion?
My favorite part was more or less the stipulation matches. That's my favorite part because in most indie wrestling, you see very few stipulation matches in indie wrestling and stuff like that, and that's what drew me to it more, was the stipulation part of it and stuff like that, was weapon use.
Okay, what was the most complicated set piece that you worked on?
Honestly, that would probably be the entranceway, because I'm OCD when it comes to stuff like that, and I like to make sure everything looks perfect.
So you're anal?
Yeah, I'd say so. when it comes to that stuff like that, yeah, I'd say so, because I wasn't trying to be a dick or an asshole to people, but I always wanted to make sure that the safety come first.
Well, sometimes you got to get your point across.
Yes, sir.
Because some people are hard-headed and won't listen.
You got a point. Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right. So what's your best memory of ACW?
Best memory would be the day that I sit there and was the first time I got involved. Was when it was one of Kid Lightning's matches, and I somehow interfered. I don't remember exactly how I interfered, but I wound up getting curb stomped. That was one of my memorable stories right there. That kind of put me for a loop.
How did that feel?
I had a headache for about an hour afterwards, but other than that, I recouped.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right, the fans. How did the fans impact your life while you was working for ACW?
Oh, they impacted it a lot, because I enjoyed their screams and stuff like that. They always, the way I was always told was that the fans make the show.
True. Okay, I got a question probably no one's ever thought of. Is there any precautions backstage for people who may get overly excited? Like nitro tablets, or, a defibrillator, or stuff like that?
We always have stuff on standby for people that, like fans that get overly excited or something like that.
Yeah, because I tell you what, fans really get into wrestling. Whether it's ACW, the other promotions, fans really get into it, and y'all got to hold them back. It almost get trampled.
Oh yeah, I've learned a couple times that the bigger the person is, the more apt it's going to be to have fun that night.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right. How has ACW impacted your life?
In a good way. I'd say it's helped me along a lot, because I met good people, I met good friends, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
All right, that's good. That's good. Would you ever work for the promotion again?
Yes, sir.
If 4, 5, 6 years ago, I mean, for now, and it should rise again, you know.
Oh, most definitely. I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be doing security and construction again.
Okay. All right. While you was doing construction and doing security, was you ever injured in ACW?
I wouldn't say injured, but I did fall off a ladder one time, which that was kind of my fault. I kind of went to the top of it, but I have a bad issue with my knee and wants to give out sometimes. But that's about the only injury I can say that I sustained was falling off of that ladder.
Okay. That's all the questions that I have for you. Do you have anything you would like to add?
No.
On your time in ACW, the construction, security, memorable fans?
Oh, now memorable fans, that would definitely be Elizabeth. She was the most memorable out of them all because regardless of what was going on, that's the only one you would hear out of all the fans. It's like she would sit there and you would hear her the most. Especially if somebody would sit there and touch her husband that was part of our security team.
What was his name?
Benny Herbert. If he was there that night, you can make sure that you better be prepared to try to stop Elizabeth from trying to get to anybody.
You know, some people said they need to make her part of security.
Yeah, honestly, I debated that a couple of times, making her female security.
Yeah, well, tell you what, as far as a blocker, could nobody get past her.
That's true.
All right, that's all I have. All right, so going back to your injury. How long did it take you to recover from the injury?
I'll say about a couple of days. It wasn't too bad to the point where I couldn't be at the next show. Because I always made it a point to try to be at every show. That way I could sit there and make sure the construction part of it went safely and everything. And that way wouldn't nobody sit there and potentially get hurt.
All right. What was your favorite matches if ACW was still running today?
My favorite matches.
All right. You said, like we had said earlier in JD's interview and your interview, it was a specialty promotion. It was specialty matches. What was your favorite specialty match?
Oh, my favorite specialty match would be the Four Corners of Pain. That was always my favorite because it was always a weapon in each corner, and that's just. And they come up with the sickest weapons that you can imagine. Thumbtack bats, barbed wire wrap kendo sticks. I mean, it was just some of the sickest weapons that a man could think of.
What about the Reaper's Rules match?
No, I like those because those is different weapons every I can't remember the exact time between each weapon, but Reaper's Rules and the Four Corners of Pain matches was the two matches that I liked the most.
Okay, who was your favorite wrestler in ACW?
I'd have to say, honestly, in my opinion, Kid Lightning.
Okay, why was he your favorite? Did you like his character, his finisher, or the whole package?
Everything about him, because even though he was in between and everything like that, he still would sit there and help out somebody he thought needed help. Even though. So
you're saying he was caring and compassionate?
I wouldn't go that far.
He was like they hear him say about Shawn Michaels, or well, more Jeff Hardy. You might say Kid Lightning was a charismatic enigma.
Yes, I would say that.
AEW.
Yep, I would say that because he was still he had his mean streaks, but he also had his good streaks.
Well,
just depending on.
It's because of Dr. Blackstone, he wasn't giving him his medication properly.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, God, you got somebody on penicillin, you got somebody on a clozapam, you got somebody on a Xanax. I mean, if they don't give it to you, you're going to go off the rails.
Yep, and I remember every show that Blackstone didn't show up, that's when the other side of the kid would come out.
Ooh, and what a side he had.
Yes, it was.
I'll never forget when him and Roxy, when the Asylum imploded, and it was him and Roxy. Oh, crap. In Burlington, North Carolina, at Moonshiners, when Roxy turned on him and about broke his damn neck.
Yep, I remember that because.
Oh my God!
That was the craziest night of my career. Was that one?
And that was at a bar, Moonshiners. There was people there that could possibly be drinking moonshine.
Yeah, right.
And that happened. That was Kid Lightning fans and Asylum fans, and then for them to split up right there in front of everybody.
Yep, I thought that was.
Woo!
I thought that was gonna be the night I was going to get the police involved.
Hey, for real, for real. I mean, because it broke down.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody ran to that side, and I'm sitting over at the tables. What the hell's going on? And J.D. Pruitt got smacked by a fan. I mean,
yeah, I remember that night. Yeah.
Good Lord. I mean, when you came to ACW show, you never knew ACW was like a box of chocolates. You never knew what you're going to get.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, well, thanks Forrest Gump and Tom Hanks for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah. So, you never knew what you was going to get at ACW. You might get a Four Corners of Hell match, a Reaper's Rules match, a First Blood match, a Singapore Cane on a Pole match.
Stairway to Hell match.
Stairway to Hell match. I mean, you just never knew. When you walked in the door, you knew one thing. You was going to get Carnage, because it's in the name. Asylum Carnage Wrestling.
You was going to see blood.
Yeah.
It wasn't
if Wayne Taylor's on the card, you're going to see blood if you just say, "Hey, Wayne, how you doing?"
Yep, basically. Yep. Because that boy loves to bleed.
Yep. All right. Do you have any other stories from ACW that you would like to tell the public?
Let's see. Yeah, I got one. It's that it's one night down there. It was when the night Roxy turned on Kid. I wasn't expecting this one. I got in there to try to sit there and calm Roxy down, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get sucker punched by Roxy. I didn't know what was going on. That sent me for a loop, because I thought we was all cool together and stuff like that. But I guess that's what happens when people have differences, and I stepped in the way.
Well, once again, you know, she was off her meds. The doctor wasn't
doing what he was supposed to do at the time.
He wasn't dismissing them correctly to his patients.
Nope. So I stepped in the way of somebody I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes, especially in the wrestling business.
Yes, it does.
Sometimes you get in the way. All right. That's all we have.
All right.
Are you good?
Yes, sir.
You have anything you'd like to add?
No, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Chris Slaughter.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time for Remembering ACW, a retrospective. I'm the Law Dog Brent Lawson. For Chris Slaughter, we're out.